everyone, my name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm bringing you some of my favorite book moms. So in honor of Mother's Day that is coming up on Sunday, I just wanted to share with you some of my favorite moms from books. So I have 4 different ones here that I just had to talk about, and I think we're gonna jump right on in because this is sort of self-explanatory. The first one here I obviously had to mention, and that is going to be Alana from Saga. So this is a comic series by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples that I feel like most people on BookTube know about. Even if you're not into comics, you've probably heard about Saga. It is a sci-fi fantasy story that definitely has some like Romeo, Juliet type of romance stuff going on. We also have lots of really hard topics, especially about war, because there is a war going on between our 2 main characters' home worlds. But throughout the entirety of the story, Alana is a mother. Like, this book starts out, I think, with her giving birth to Hazel, who is this baby here, but who we also get to see grow up throughout the comic series. And literally, she is a badass. She used to be a soldier in this war. She's raising an infant in the beginning of this book, and like her entire purpose is to keep her family safe. I've actually read this 2 times so far, and the first time I did like her as a character, but the second time I read it, I was already a mother myself, and I absolutely fell in love with her as a character. If you're looking for badass female characters who are also mothers, I think Alana is one of the first ones that comes to mind. The next mom and book that I have here are completely different than Alana from Saga. I have The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren, and the mom in here is named Jess, and this is one of those ones where I just fell in love with the fact that she is a single mother, because this is a romance story. I mean, again, Christina Lauren, I feel like a lot of people know about them. They write romance. And I think this was the first romance that I read with the single mother sort of being a prominent character in the story. So the romance is going on. She is sort of falling in love with the doctor in this story, and obviously he is falling in love with her, but she is a single mother. I think her daughter in this one is lower elementary school aged. I can't exactly remember how old that she is, but the fact that like her being a mom is such an important part of her identity, and her wanting what's best for her daughter while also trying to figure out what's best for herself in this new romantic situation, I just absolutely loved. Now, this is not like a new thing in romance. I feel like we've also been getting a few new books recently with single mothers as part of the romantic couple, but this is the one that I feel like I loved the best. Maybe because I read it first, but also because our love interest of Dr. River Pena also really puts a focus on the fact that Jess has a daughter and like wants to do what's best for that daughter as well in the romance. Sometimes I feel like the kids that these single parents have do get pushed to the back burner a little bit, especially if the kid in the story is like teenage age. So the fact that we had a younger child that Jess was taking care of and they were integral to the actual romantic development of the story, I absolutely loved. The next one I have here is going to be from Stillhouse Lake by Rachel Caine. So this is the first book in a series that I have not continued the series yet. However, at least in this first book, our mother is Gina/Gwen. So we start off the story with Gina, who then eventually changes her name to Gwen because of the fact that in like the very first few pages of the story, she finds out that her husband is a serial killer and he gets sent to prison for it. So she has to create this whole nother life in a different place for her kids. I think at least she changes her name. I don't fully remember about the kids, but her whole existence is trying to start over and give her kids the best life possible after this tragedy happens. Now, because this is a mystery thriller book, the place that she is living starts to have other deaths and murders very similar to what her husband used to do, and so she's now trying to also figure out why that is happening around her, if people know who she actually is. But at the bottom of like her driving force is the fact that she wants to protect her kids as well. And so the fact that this is another very, very strong female character who also happens to be a mom, I absolutely loved. Like I said before, this is the first book in a series that I definitely want to continue. I do believe Gwen is at the forefront of all of these books. And so, yes, I love the fact that she was a badass female character who happened to be a mom. I need to continue with these, but definitely pick up the first book. And then finally, the last one I have for us today is going to be from The Clan of the Cave Bear by Jean M. Ewell. So this is a book that I originally read when I was in 8th grade, probably a little bit too young to read a book like this, but that was also when I was sort of experimenting with the types of books that I liked, and I have reread this book multiple times. I probably need to do a reread soon, but in general, multiple times. And this one, I'm actually going to be talking about the character of Isa. So in this story, it is a like pre-historical fiction novel. So like, I don't even want to say it's historical fiction because this is like around the time of Neanderthals and the precursors to Homo sapiens. But Isa is the adoptive mother of Isla, who is the main character in this book series. I absolutely love the fact that like Isa was not able to really have children of her own and takes in this weird looking human child, because in this book series most of the characters are Neanderthals, whereas our main character of Isla is one of those precursors to the Homo sapiens, and she just gives her unconditional love, teaches her how to be a healer in their clan, and that's part of what being a mother is. Like, Isa was not able to have a child of her own, but she took this orphaned child in and raised her like her own. And like, when you think about typical motherly love, that is something that I definitely think of. So I really did want to include an adoptive story as well. Isa is an adoptive mother of Isla, but yes, I will say this story in general does get very, very dark. So if you're not entirely aware of all like the trigger warnings and content warnings, I can always tell you guys that, but I absolutely love this story. This is the first book in a series, and so eventually, because of the fact that we do get to see Isla grow up, Isla also does become a mother, but I wanted to make the focus of this on Isa because she is the adoptive mother and she like epitomizes the qualities that you would assume a mother should have. So yeah, this is not a book I would typically read nowadays. Like, the genre of it is definitely not something I would normally reach for. However, I absolutely love the series. I love the characters, and like I said, Isa is the epitome of motherly love. So those are the 4 mothers that I wanted to talk about today in honor of Mother's Day. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm sure that there are other ones that I could have picked, but these are the ones that were on the forefront of my mind, the ones that I can't get out of my head, the ones that I feel like are strong mothers, have the qualities of good mothers, even if some of them are like more action-based, more badassery based, and other ones are more motherly in a place of love. I just had to share these with you guys. If you've read any of these, let me know. But also let me know if you've read any other books that have mothers in them, because I feel like this is something that I am looking for slightly more and more, but it's not something that I see all that often in books. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more videos. I do have videos up Tuesdays and Thursdays, so I will see you then. Bye!